Nobody.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to our Welcome to our pipes training. This is session number 5. So this is the last one. It's S for support. So this is a really, really, really important, I mean, they're all important, but I feel like this is a really, really important step in your doTERRA business, is learning how to support your team and supporting new builders. So there's so much under support that we could go into, but I've just picked the main points that I think is good just to reiterate. So when it comes to supporting our team, we know that unless you want to be hauling buckets and just enrolling people for the rest of your life, then you have to learn how to support your team properly, because that's where the true residual income comes in. So support is so, so important. So, you know, there are people who are sitting in Australia at Presidential Diamond and they've only enrolled personally like 60 people, but they're Presidential Diamonds with thousands of people under them. And that just says to me that those Presidential Diamonds are super good at supporting their team and their new builders and just building that community. So in today's day and age, people are looking for community. So if you can provide a place that's a little bit special, makes people feel special and brings them into a community that they feel welcomed into and they feel part of, then you will have a really successful doTERRA business. So the first step for support, I think, is definitely doing a welcome call or a wellness consult or a lifestyle overview, whatever you want to call it. I like the welcome call because that it's not as, I don't feel like it's as scary as a consult. And a consult, a lot of people will back away and go, there's nothing wrong with me, or they either that or they think that they might have to pay for something. So I like welcome call, and it is best to do probably about 10 days after enrolling. So it's nice to send someone a text message, say, have you got your oils? And then you can either send them your Calendly link or just tee up a time to have a chat with them over Zoom, like this online meeting space, or over the phone, or if you can, face-to-face is really good. Long-term face-to-face, meeting everyone, meeting up with every single enrollment, especially when you start to support a bigger team and you're doing workshops with sharers and stuff like that aren't, they're hosting workshops and you're enrolling their people for them. It's really hard to do face-to-face. You know what it's like trying to catch up with a girlfriend for a coffee, just getting calendars to align and things like that. If you can do it face-to-face, awesome, do that. Otherwise, I feel like Zoom and a phone call is a really unobtrusive way for people to have that service. So Empowered Success is doTERRA's new platform. They've taken over from Share Success. So we all know that they've got all those new guides that they've launched this year. And this is where you find the Live Guide. So the Live Guide is doTERRA's guide for the welcome call or wellness consult. So definitely get in your back office, order some of them, or download them from the internet. So you either need to give one of those to your new enrollment or send them the downloaded version before your welcome call, or put it into their welcome pack so they have it there. It's a really good guide to have just on hand. And we know that if you use this guide, if you do a welcome call or a wellness consult, you will increase the retention rate. doTERRA already has an amazing retention rate, but if you really want to service your team and service people well and create that true residual income, it's about supporting people and increasing that retention rate. So it's just a no-brainer. You've got to get the Live Guide. And really good wording. Paul Ovens uses this wording, and it's genius, because I have gone through phases in my business where I've found it really hard to get people just to have a welcome call or a wellness consult, and just to try and catch up with them once they've had their oils. It's really hard. So now I use the wording, and I usually try to say this to them when I'm enrolling them. Now the protocol is So the protocol is that once you get your oils, we're going to catch up either on the phone, online, or for a cuppa, and we are going to go over some things like safety. We're going to make a roller bottle. We're going to get you settled with your oils. So if you use the word the protocol is, they will say to themselves, oh, this is what everyone does. So this is what I have to do. And if you say it like that, they don't feel like you don't feel like you're nagging at them for them to have their welcome call or wellness consult. It's just another part of the service that they get. So the protocol is, and then whatever wording you want to use, and say it when they're enrolling. And then follow up with them a week or so later. Have you got your oils yet? Let's book in that welcome call. And then you can send them the Calendly link or work out a time. I like the Calendly link because you can put your calendar in. It's free. You can put your calendar in. It syncs with your phone, and they can choose a time that suits them. You can put in your availability and they can choose a time that suits them. Therefore, there's no toing and froing. Can you do Thursday night? Can you do, oh, my children are at soccer, and, you know, it's just a lot of time wasted doing that sort of thing. So if you can have a Calendly link that you just send out, it's really professional, and yeah, I really like it. So then in the welcome call or wellness consult, you've got your live guide and you're going to take them through it. You're going to answer any questions. You're going to find out their top 3 health concerns or the reason that they want oils in the first place. Then I really like the wellness consults that I do with people when we make a roller. So they've got their welcome pack. Maybe you've given it to them in their welcome call or wellness consult, or at the time that they've enrolled. A lot of people will hold back on giving them that welcome pack, you know, a couple of rollers, whatever you put in your welcome pack. Usually it's a couple of rollers, maybe a spritzer, a little book and some info, maybe some sample toothpaste, ice glue rub. A lot of people will hold that back until the actual wellness consult. And that's fine if you're meeting them face to face. But if you're doing it online, then it's probably just easier to give it to them at the time that they've enrolled, save on postage. But it's a great idea to make a roller so that they can see how easy that is to do. So you would say, grab your welcome pack out, get one of the 10 mil rollers, and you've already established their healthcare needs, their family's top health priorities, and maybe someone has sinus, or maybe they've got a teething baby. Then you're going to show them, empower them with information of where to get the information of what oils to use. So grab the app out, grab the book out, and you're going to show them how to find that information, and then they're going to make up a roller bottle under your guidance. But they're going to do it physically. So you really want them to be hands-on doing it. You can do that over Zoom. You can do that over the phone, not as easy, but over Zoom, face-to-face, best way. And then go through their welcome pack, make sure they're happy. In the Live Guide, you're going to be introducing Lifelong Vitality. It's an anchor product, so you're going to be introducing that to them, and the loyalty rewards program. So this is not something that we go into great detail in a workshop or class situation. So in the welcome call, wellness consult, this is where we're going to be just delving into that a bit deeper and helping them understand. Now, it's a really key thing there is to not use LLV or LRP. Don't use acronyms. Acronyms it's fine when you've been using the product for a little while and your community will use that lingo down the track, but when they're new, if you start busting out acronyms that they don't know what that means, they're just going to feel silly, they're going to feel dumb, and you're going to make them feel yucky. And just use loyalty program, doTERRA's loyalty program or loyalty rewards program, or I always say the supplement system Lifelong Vitality, so that they know, oh, that's those 3 bottles. Yep, that's that one on that page that she said was really, really good. Another really important thing to do in a welcome call wellness consult is to make sure they're connected up into your social media groups. Make sure they know where to find that on their phone. So if you're sitting with them, you're going to help get them connected straight away. And then you're going to say, this is where if you just start typing in the Oily Circle Tribe up the top, it will pop up. So make sure they know that they can post to the groups. If you do Wellness Wednesday, which we do, make sure they know that every Wednesday we'll be doing Wellness Wednesday, and then get them connected into Oil Camp. And the new Oil Camp's going to be called something different, but it's always good to use the same wording there that you do when you want to get them to have a welcome call. So the protocol is all of our newbies do this online program called Oil Camp, or whatever the new one's going to be called, so that you can get them into that. Make sure that they know that it's designed for busy people. It's not something that's scary. They don't have to go camping. They don't need a sleeping bag. And just say, I usually say it's just 10 minutes a day. I used to, when I did my Oil Camp, I just used to watch it while I was brushing my teeth, and then I would sit in bed and watch the remainder of the video. And that's all you have to do for Oil Camp, just watching videos, interacting in a group. So Oil Camp so powerful for retention, for educating people, for helping people become confident. So just know that enrolling someone is just the first step. Your responsibility as an enroller doesn't end with just processing that paperwork. You're there to help them become more confident. And that goes for everyone in your team. You might have sharers there, people that are enrolling their neighbour or their sister, but they're not actively building the business. That is up to you to know that those new enrollments need support. So you can check in with the enroller and say, have you set your sister up with the groups? I really want to get your sister into Oil Camp. Would you mind if I did a welcome call with your sister? So just be in contact with the people that are enrolling. So even if they're sharers, don't just assume that they're not your enrollment, so you don't need to look after them. You do. Everyone under you, you need to look after. And it's a little bit harder when you have never met them and they don't know you and you don't have that connection. If you just keep it friendly, keep it in service, so you're just there to help them, then it's fine. Like it takes a little bit longer to develop that rapport, but it is fine. So you're going to look after them and make sure they're in the groups, make sure everything that we've just chatted about. And then always let them know that our community Facebook group is for all of our members. It's a perk of having a membership, but to interact. A lot of people sitting back and not interacting. So if you can encourage interaction, more people interact and the community is strengthened. You build a bigger, better community by doing that. So there's no question that is too much trouble. There is nothing. We have a little bit of an issue with compliance, but we can always help people along with that. So just tell them to post anything. And if there is a compliance issue, we can deal with it then. But we want people to ask questions. We want people to get the support. And on the groups, we deliberately have a community group that is, it's generically named, the Oily Circle Tribe. So it's not the Jess and Darren show. It is a generic name because you don't want to feel or have your builders feel like they have to go and set up their own support groups. There's a lot of effort to have an active support group. There's a lot of time and energy needed to be put into that. So until you're gold or above, you don't need to, I don't feel like you really need to have your own support group. You use that one that is there, that's established, but be active. So if you're actively building the business, you need to be active in the support group. You want your new enrollments or people that are new to your team, so Mary Jane's sister that just got enrolled, you want them to see you on there so that when you pick up the phone and you ask her to do Oil Camp and to have a welcome call, she will join the dots. She will see your face there. So, so make sure they're in the groups, be active in the support groups. Encourage your new builders to be active in the support groups. That might just be posting a photo of their favourite diffuser blend, what they're aromatically dressing. The reality is, in a community like that, a lot of people, like when you've got hundreds and hundreds of people in there, there's a lot of people that have been using oils for a while and then there's a lot of newbies. So the newbies are just so hungry for knowledge. They want to know what people are using, and the people that have been there for a while, they're a bit over the basics. So if we can get lots of interaction, so aromatic dressing, diffuser sleep blends, diffuser for morning, in the mornings when the kids are getting ready for school, having oil in your water when you wake, recipes for food, recipes for roller bottles, videos are king, stories. That's what people want to hear. They want to hear people's stories. So they want to hear that I just used copaiba to help my child with their whatever, nasty nighttime cough, and this is what I did, and this is a photo or whatever. So encourage your team to be active in the group, but also make sure you are active in the group. Okay, so supporting your team's a really, really big one. And team events is, so face-to-face events, you can do online as well, but it just reinforces community. It brings people together. It creates a great culture of support, because what you'll find is that you don't end up being the main support people. People support each other. So the people that have been using oils for years will support the newbies, especially in smaller country towns. But even smaller country towns, it works particularly well. But anywhere, local team events empowers your team. It builds strength. It builds a true residual income, because people feel like they're part of something special and they're engaged. They're engaged in the education. They're engaged in the product. They'll quite often bring new people in. It's a really good one for empowering your leaders to step up. So we've done quite a few where we just have 5-minute slots, and different leaders or people that just have a passion for a certain area will stand up and just talk for 5 minutes. Then we'll do some DIY, and then we'll share some food and a cuppa. Just really good for solidifying the community and making people feel special. So you can do giveaways, you can do special DIYs, you can do stuff for the beginners, and you can tick the box for the more advanced people. So Lisa Zimmer, if you don't follow her on Facebook, Lisa Zimmer Biz Tips is her Facebook group. She runs monthly events. I've got my oils now what, and it's really good. If you can jump onto her group, search for her community events and watch a couple of those videos. She explains it really well. She gets people to bring their oils. She does education for newbies. She encourages people to bring a friend, and then they take those people away and educate them. Really good for empowering people that are raving fans, so sharers, into builders, or just kickstarting confidence levels in new builders too. So, it's daunting running a workshop, but if you have a passion for essential oils and horses, then you're, more likely to stand up and probably really enjoy to speak about for 5 minutes about how you use essential oils with your horses. And everyone loves it. People thrive on that. They want to hear how to use it in their garden, how to use it on their horses, especially those people that have been using for a little while. They're hungry for more advanced stuff. Another way, and we have been doing this now for a fair few months in our team, is the LRP giveaways. So this came from an idea from Lisa Zimmer as well. I had a mentoring call with her, and she's like, you have to do this. And it's a really good way to educate people about LRP, to let your team know about any specials that are coming up, but to reward people that are loyal customers, so that are engaged in the loyalty rewards program. So for our team, we do, if you place an LRP order between the 2nd and the 15th, so in that free product of the month zone, if you place an order under 100 PV, so they're not going to get the free product of the month, but it is just sort of getting them on their way with LRP. So if they place an order under 100 PV, they'll get 1 ticket into the draw for the giveaway. And if it's over 100, they will get 3 tickets into the draw for the giveaway. So we don't put a restriction on that they have to get the product of the month or anything like that. It's literally just rewarding people to be engaged in the program, but at the same time, we're educating them on, if you did put your order in at 125, you would get this oil. And if you put it in at 200 this month, we have a 200 point special, you get this stuff. And then we have a beautiful gift, usually $100-ish mark. But that varies. So I think last month we had a doTERRA backpack. Usually it's stuff that people can't acquire easily. We don't want to give away too many oils that it's going to stop them from engaging in LRP. So we could give away mood management kits and lots of oils, but it's not a great idea taking the fun out of the LRP for them. So if they're winning a lot of free stuff, they're not going to be as engaged in the loyalty rewards program. So backpacks, books, diffusers, oils that were one-time only oils, limited time specials that aren't available anymore, that sort of thing. And then we get our main leaders or any of our business builders to give away if they want, it's optional, just to reward. And so the main giveaway is an actual draw, so it's all drawn out randomly, but the other giveaways are chosen. So the leaders will choose loyal customers in their team and they'll give them a grapefruit or give them a wild orange or give them whatever a book or something. So the LRP giveaways are about rewarding the loyal members, but also about educating people on LRP, because we know that once someone is on LRP for 3 months and they see those points coming in, they see their freebies, they see that they're not paying shipping, that they will possibly engage for a lot longer. So that if they're on it for 3 months, the stats are that they will stay on it pretty much. Especially if they're educated and use and love the anchor products. So anchor products being lifelong vitality, the Virage system, toothpaste, the cleaner concentrate, the supplements like the Mito 2 Max and things like that. Because these are things that when people use them, they are standout products. They love them. And we know lifelong vitality, everyone can benefit from that. So it's a really, really good one. So educate on the anchor products. Another thing to educate your team on is BOGO. So buy one, get one free. It happens about twice a year, but when it happens, we don't get much warning. It's bang, bang, like announced, and then it starts on the Monday. So usually it's announced on the weekend and starts on the Monday. And people that don't know what it is are swept up into this whirlwind. They're overwhelmed and they don't engage in it, especially the newbies. So if you feel like a BOGO is coming up and we haven't had one for 6 months or so, then start educating your people on what BOGO, buy one, get one, is another acronym that we shouldn't probably use around newbies. Buy one, get one free means, and how they can get the best out of that system. Obviously on LRP, putting orders above 50 PV so they're earning points. They can go into BOGO relays if they like. Sometimes that's more hassle than what it's worth. BOGO relay meaning if you get 5 people together, they live in the same geographical location, each person can take a day. So Mary Jane can order on Monday and she'll order for each of those 5 people. So she'll order 5 buy ones and she'll get the other. She'll get a package with 10 oils in it. And then at the end, and then the next person will do the next day. And then at the end of the week, they'll catch up for coffee, they'll switch oils, and usually a little bit of small change, to even the playing field out. But everyone would have got points, which is the main thing. So it bumps the orders up versus, so if you're on the loyalty program and you order below 50 points in one order, you don't accrue points except for your shipping. So the idea of the BOGO relay, it builds community, but also it helps everyone get some points in the bank. Okay, so LRP giveaways, educate about BOGO, educate on the anchor products. Another really important way to build your team and to support your team is to pinpoint, to know your tree, to know it intimately, and look out for people in your tree that are turning in or that are already raving fans. So we know that once people start using the oils, they have some magical moments, they turn into raving fans. And these people are perfect for sharing, for booking classes, for you to go into the house and run a workshop. They can host it, invite their friends and family, and those people will have amazing stories to tell their friends and family. So they quite often get a lot of people to their classes because they've been spruiking these oils. But the business side is not something that they had ever really wanted to do or thought about or had in their mind. They just know that they love oils. So if you know your team well, look for people in your team that are on LRP and that are active in the group. So they're ordering regularly, but also active in the group. So maybe they're not commenting, maybe they're just liking posts, or maybe they are commenting when someone writes a question. They will help a newbie out. Those people are great to touch base and ask them to host a class. So there's an awesome script that Vanessa Jean and Paul, I got from Vanessa Jean and Paul in one of their business trainings. I'm going to put it up in the group. But basically, it's how to have a phone call with that person. So you can see this person's active, they're engaged, they're excited, they're turning into a raving fan. So that's your cue to pick up the phone and have a chat to them. You may not know them personally, and that's okay. As long as you just introduce yourself as their team leader, probably know who their enroller is, and keep them in the loop if they are someone building a business. If they are someone building a business, that person should be the one ringing them. But basically, it goes a bit like this. Okay, so hi, Jenny. It's Sue Smith here. Just giving you a call to touch base. I know we haven't spoken in a while, but how are you? And then you let them respond. So the reason I called was that I was online the other day. I was looking at my growing doTERRA team, and I noticed that you've been ordering pretty much every month, and I guess you've been really loving the oils. And then you let them respond. They'll probably tell you some stories about how they've been using them. They'll tell you about how their sister's been using them and the success she's been having. And then this is your cue to then go, okay, so it's been bugging me for a few days now. So I thought I would just call you up and tell you something. Most people in my tree order every month, and a lot of them get their oils for free, but you don't, and it's kind of annoying me. So I just thought I'd call you up and tell you. And this is where they usually will say, how are they getting their oils for free? What do I have to do to get my oils for free? And then this is where you say, so I get that you don't necessarily want to do this as a business like me, and you probably feel like you wouldn't have time to add something like this to your plate because you're super busy with kids and work. But so many of my friends who just host a class once or once in a while, for the people that they love and care for, want to help get oils into their life, you don't need to teach the class because I'll do that for you, but you will get the commission. And when people try the oils, they will love them just like you do, and they will be in a team underneath you and blah, blah, blah. So I'll put the rest of that, and then you go on to explain how doTERRA credits their account, so they can use that money to pay for oils, or they can take it into their own bank account. It's cash, so it's commission. I'll put that script up in the group. So it's for touching base with someone and asking them to have a class. It's something I did a lot in Diamond Club, and it's not as scary as it seems. You just remove all judgment, and you're just putting it out there. You're just helping them get free oils. And most people are all over that. They are just chomping at the bit for that. So book classes for people at your team, pinpoint those on LRP and go for those ones. And another thing when looking at people on LRP is look for people that are placing orders just below that free oil mark. So if they're on LRP but putting in a 100-point order, 115-point order every month, that's another reason to give someone a call and just touch base with them and just let them know that you've noticed that they've just been missing out on this free product of the month. So they may not know about that. They may not know. So just be always in service to your team, and people will really, really appreciate that. Be a solutions provider. That's what we are. If you just focus not on the money, not on the enrollment, just being a solutions provider, everything else will flow. And a really good practice to get into especially in the early days, and just continue it on, is to set up a spreadsheet. Darren's got an awesome one he can send you the template of. So it's just an Excel file. You put in your people's names and you keep track of information about them, because when you're a new builder, you will know most people in your team, you'll know what their issues are. But as your team grows and as you're not the only one enrolling, you will be, clueless as to why that person joined doTERRA. They may have a spirited kid, or maybe they want it for their horses or cooking. So if you can keep a spreadsheet, and as you're speaking to someone, especially if they're not your enrollment, you can keep notes on that person. If they are your enrollment, I still recommend keeping notes so that you can know that their top 3 health priorities are this. Maybe they have kids on the spectrum, so that you can have that spreadsheet on hand when you pick up the phone and ring someone. But also you can get into the habit of just going through your spreadsheet and tagging certain people in posts that are interesting, so that they can feel the love, basically. So that they know, oh, she does remember that my child has eczema and she's just tagged me in that post. How nice is that? So it's just about building community, and it's just a really good idea to keep that spreadsheet, and once a week go through and just show 10 people some love, basically. Maybe it's popping something in the mail. Maybe it is sending them some recipes for their kids that you've come across. Not everyone who uses oils is completely immersed in everything. When you're doing the business, you'll feel like there's just so much information out there, and everyone would know that recipe, or seen that popcorn recipe. But what you don't realize is, when you're immersed in the business, your Facebook feed just fills up with that. Your Pinterest feed fills up with that, and Instagram, everything fills up with that. If you can just recognize that a lot of people that are using oils in your team, that doesn't happen for them. They may not have seen that recipe. So if you can copy it, download it, send it to them, tag them in it, they will feel the love and be appreciative for it. Trust me. So just some other notes I had written down. Front load the beginning of the month. So educate on your free product of the month early in the month. Educate on LRP early in the month. Do your LRP giveaway in the beginning of the month. Share your calendar of events with people, or your upcoming workshops in the beginning of the month. Send your newsletters out in the beginning of the month if you do that on MailChimp. Offer gifts and incentives for hosting workshops. Offer wellness consults for people that are not on LRP in the beginning of the month. Try and make the beginning of the month jam-packed full of activity, because that's going to make the end of the month so much less stressful and way better situation for you to rank advance if that's what you're going for. So check upcoming LRP. So go to your detailed genealogy, see, work out roughly what your volume is going to look like at the 15th of the month. And then at the end of the month, in the last few weeks, the end of the month, you can then put into action some extra incentives. If you are rank advancing, or your volume's looking a little bit low in one leg or another, or the whole team, you can offer incentives for classes, enroll a friend incentives. Like with the 200-point order, you can offer an incentive if you place a second 200-point order. It's just really good idea to front load the beginning of the month. Now, when it comes to supporting your team into leadership, it's really, and I'm guilty of this, of not explaining to people what I do, how I love what I do, how this is the best job in the world, how there is a massive business opportunity associated with having a doTERRA account. I am guilty as sin for that, but I'm changing. So don't be like me and be too scared to introduce that business opportunity. It's totally a personal thing, because I had such an issue with the network marketing model in the early days. I'm over that now. So for me, I do a lot of work on just being okay with telling people what I do and why I do what I do, and how this is literally the best job in the world. It's helping us live our dreams. But a lot of people will get their oils, get their doTERRA account, and if you don't tell them there's a business opportunity, they will not know. it's always best to inspire people by telling them what you do, so that you don't be this sleaze bucket person trying to sell a business opportunity. So we always lead with the product in doTERRA, and those people that we spoke about earlier that are the raving fans, they are the people that need to know that there is a business opportunity, and actually everyone needs to know. So in your workshop, find time to introduce that. Just say that doTERRA has enabled us to live our dream. Every single day I get out of bed and I get to do the best job in the world. So just be available for people to chat about that. Just open that door so that they can chat about that. People don't buy because of what you're doing. They will remember why you're doing it much more than what you're doing. So if you can explain to them that, you know, for me, it's about spending time with my little kids, not having to go back to work, being, you know, my own boss, being in charge of my own hours, being able to fit this business around kids and activities and family life, then they're going to remember that a lot more than if you just said, oh, there's a really good business opportunity. So for us, you know, we've just sold a house, we've just bought a caravan, and we're going traveling for 6 months, which we definitely could not do without doTERRA. So that is something that I now share in my workshops or when I'm chatting to people. So yeah, so just be open to sharing that business opportunity. People need to know that. And there are people that are desperate for something like this. If you don't tell them, you know, you're just taking that away from them. There are people that are they're just sitting there waiting for something like this to get them out of their, you know, horrible job or their horrible financial situation. So how dare you not to tell them about that? And imagine if you hadn't known about the business opportunity, or if no one had told you about it, how that, you know, how that would be for you now. So tell people how you're living the dream. Be the leader that you want to attract. So you might just be an executive or an elite at this point in your business, but if you act like a diamond, walk like a diamond, talk like a diamond, you will attract builders that are like diamonds, and you will become a diamond. So walk the walk. Doesn't matter. Ranks are just a line in the sand. It does not mean anything. It doesn't mean you're less than someone that is at a diamond. It just means your paycheck is less. And we want to get you to that point where your paycheck is not less. So walk like a diamond, talk like a diamond, act like a leader, act like the people you want to attract. Turn up every day. Delete any negativity and toxicity out of your groups, out of your vocab, out of what you're doing. That has no place in doTERRA. And another thing that has no place is forcing people or being really pushy. People need to be met where they're at. So for me, I'm very much passionate about this business, and I'm willing to put a lot of time and energy into it. But the next person that's building the business may not be willing to do that. And that's okay. You need to meet people where they're at. Same with people that are raving, lunatic users of doTERRA. They love their oils and talk about them all the time. And you may think they're going to be the best builder in the world. But unless that's what they want to do, you cannot force someone to do that, and you should not be pushing someone to do that. You just need to meet them where they're at. If they are happy to have a workshop, then you need to service that. So meet people where they're at. Natalie and Andy Goddard will say, meet people where they're at, and then you meet people where they're at. So it's never about being pushy or having your preferences put onto them. So delete negativity, toxicity, love people where they're at, know your builders or your sharers' dreams, their lives, their passions, their strengths. They may not love doing workshops, but they're really good at one-on-ones. Then nurture that. Help your users, your raving fan doTERRA oily users turn into builders. Just help them along with that. You need to be the one that's shining the light on those new people, and, well, all of your sharers and builders. You need to show them their value, what they're good at, and really tell them what they're good at. A lot of people can't see what they bring to the table. They cannot see it. So it might mean getting them involved in your local team events, getting them to stand up and chat, and then saying, that was the most awesome, I did not know about, that you could use that for that, lemongrass to help pollinate your avocado tree or whatever. And just really shine a light on their strengths and tell them their value and what they've just brought to the table. Collaborate with people, build strong partnerships, drop the competition. Society and business in general in our world outside of doTERRA is very competitive. Everything from the way we're brought up in school and exams and the way we work and, just every aspect of society tends to be very competitive. But there is no competition in doTERRA. There is no need for competition. It's not needed, and it's actually detrimental to your business. So the only way you can succeed in doTERRA, such an awesome business plan, the way it's set up is the only way you can succeed is if you help other people succeed. So it is actually my dream for my team leaders to overtake me. That would be the best financially for me, but also just from a heart space, to know that the people that I helped get started with oils are now presidential diamonds. Even if I was just still sitting at platinum, I would love for me to have 3 presidential diamonds underneath. Imagine my paycheck, but also imagine the satisfaction of helping other people succeed like that. So there is no need for competition, and actually it should be your dream to have leaders under you that have outranked you, overtaken you, etc. That's an awesome thing. So just drop the competition. No one is in competition. Even cross line, cross team, different teams, you'll find that there's people at every step that are there to help you. And if you've lived and breathed in the world outside of doTERRA, then it will feel foreign at the beginning to you that, why is this person helping me? They've got nothing to gain from helping me. But you will come to realize that's just the way the doTERRA culture works. So you will establish connections and friendships with people in completely other teams, and they'll become some of your best friends in your life. So don't just drop the competition, and really try and share that with your new builders. We see a lot of competition and competitive nature in the early ranks because people are still just wrapping their head around that doTERRA culture. And then to support your new builders, use the build and launch guides. You can be an elite and have been doing the business for 2 weeks, or even less than elite. You could be any rank and have been doing the business for 2 seconds, but you can still download or get your hands on through the back office the build and launch guides and walk a new builder through it. So you don't need to be of a certain rank or of a certain knowledge base. Those guides are phenomenal, and every single syllable in that guide is valuable, and anyone can do it. Anyone can do a business overview with someone, or a business chat, or even just, there's a lot of people that are sharers that are just a little bit intrigued about the business. It's great just to pull out that build guide and go through it with them. They may not end up doing the business, and that's okay, but they're just interested. It's a very different concept, the way doTERRA's compensation plan, if you haven't been in network marketing before, which we hadn't, it's a very different concept of how people get paid, of how the structure is, of how this all works. And so if you can just grab the build guide at the least and go through that with someone over coffee, you will reinforce, you'll have confidence, you will be, every time you can do that, you're just going to get better and better at speaking about the business to people, and your belief in the business will grow. Okay, so we have covered a lot. Support is, the PIPES series is prepare, invite, present, enroll, support. And support is super, super important for growing that residual income. I've got some questions here actually. Is the Live Guide in the enrollment kit from doTERRA? No, you need to buy it through the back office separately. In the enrollment pack, which is the empowerment kit, you get the Nature Solutions class outline booklet, and you will get some little invitations and some wild oranges. So you don't get all of the guides, no. But you can download it for free and print it out, or buy it through your back office in packs of 10. So,
sorry, I was actually meaning the kit they get from doTERRA when they enroll. So, you know, they get the book.
It will be, if it hasn't been changed over already. Yep. So they get it.
So they'll have a copy and we can discuss it with them over the phone and things like that.
Yeah. So I'm not sure that that's all completely been changed over yet, but they do currently get a folder with 3 brochures in there. That is actually, so we just have to wait and see what happens there, whether that's going to continue, because they are introducing a new booklet, which they have in the US already, but it's a booklet which goes through all the oils. So it's a beautiful book where you can just open up at, you know, On Guard and read all about On Guard. So I'm not sure that the business paperwork is going to be in as well as that book, but we'll just have to watch this space and have a check.
Thank you.
Hey Jess, just with those, the guides that come with your enrollment too, is it only if they're enrolled as a WA?
Ooh.
Because I've had a few people as wholesale customers enroll.
Yeah, as far as I know, I've never.
And they haven't got those. They didn't get those booklets. They just got like the home essentials kit with the oils and the diffuser. They didn't get like any package thing. I was like, that's weird. I think you're supposed to.
Okay, I'll find out about that and get back to you. They should have at least got stickers.
Yeah, because that's what she was looking for. She's like, I really want those stickers that you had. Can you order them? And I'm like, you should have got them.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll send an email about that when I get off this call. Okay, I'll just wrap this up and then we'll do a Q&A. So we've covered a lot in the support part of the pipe series, but basically the pipes you need to do over and over and over and over and over and over again. This is what you'll be doing in your doTERRA business forever, but is creating a strong doTERRA business with true residual income, which is what we want. We don't want to be hauling buckets forever, just enrolling people. It's not sustainable. So supporting plays a really, really, really big part in creating that residual income. And we don't, there's a lot of systems in place, you know, being the groups, being the guides, oil camp, etc., to help you, but you need to encourage your new builders to engage and to know that supporting their team is really important. So supporting new builders, supporting your team, it's all about serving people where they're at. And I love that it's all laid out, that it's black and white, that you don't have to reinvent the wheel and you don't have to spend too much time brainstorming over what your next move is. It is all laid out. So I love that. So if you haven't watched the other videos, you need to go back and watch the recordings, and then it will all make sense. And if you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. What we will also be putting up the script for approaching someone to book a class, you know, for a sharer, basically, to book a class to help people get the oils for free. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording.